Alrighty guys, welcome to my Major League Baseball free pick video here today for Monday, April 24th, 2023. It's actually our part 2 video. And of course, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks right here on YouTube since 2016. And the purpose of these free videos is to potentially spark some interest in you joining a membership on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. I have a bunch of different memberships and packages on that site. And it gives you an opportunity to see which one of these picks on these videos that I'm actually betting on personally. I currently have over 530 members who are signed up and active on my site right now. And if you want to see each and every one of my personal bets, games that I personally have my own action on, my recommendation for you is to join my full access, all-inclusive chairman package on that site. Chairman members get access to every single personal play of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. If you sign up here today, the math works out to be just $3.33 a day. And as an added bonus, guys, you're also going to get access to my video podcast every single day as well. And that's where I break down each and every single one of my personal plays in video format. We are coming fresh off a 4-2 day yesterday on Sunday, and the only way you could have accessed all of those winners is to be a chairman member on my site. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to start off with our part 2 video with the Marlins at the Braves, 7:20 Eastern first pitch. Atlanta's minus 270, totals 8 runs. Spencer Strider for Atlanta, Edward Cabrera for Miami. And even though Cabrera's had some control issues, he's still averaging over a strikeout an inning. Now, this Marlins lineup has also been very selective at the dish in their road games. They're averaging nearly 5 walks a game when they bat first. Luis Arias has an OPS in the thousands, and he's also hitting .444. Meanwhile, Brian De La Cruz is hitting .314. They're facing an Atlanta team who strikes out more times a game at home than any other lineup in baseball. And speaking of offensive woes, the Braves are on a 4-game losing streak, and they average just 2.2 runs a game during that skid. Now, injury-wise, d'Arnaud, Arcia, and Harris are still out for the Braves. Meanwhile, for the Fish, Joey Wendell's still on the IL. When it comes to the total, Miami's 5-4 to the over in their road trips. Meanwhile, Atlanta's gone 70% to the over in Truist Park. Give me Miami plus 1.5, over 8. Next game, Tigers, Brewers, 7:40 Eastern first pitch. Milwaukee's minus 155, totals 8.5. Colin Rea for Milwaukee, Matthew Boyd for Detroit. Now, Boyd's still looking for his first win of the season. He's got an ERA in the 4s. He's also backed by a Detroit lineup who averages a league-worst 2.6 runs a game in their travels. Now, they're facing Colin Rea on the bump, he's got a 9. Colin Rea is really good. He's got a .94 whip. He pitches for the Brewers. And he's pitched 10-plus innings this year. Now, these Brewer hitters, they're also in the top 5 in run production at home. William Contreras, he's hitting .311 with a handful of walks. Meanwhile, Rowdy Tellez is 5th in the bigs with 7 home runs. Now, injury-wise, Urias, Taylor, and Mitchell are out for Milwaukee. Meanwhile, for Detroit, Javier Baez is questionable. When it comes to the number, Detroit saw their last 6 straight stay under the total. Give me the Brewers, minus 155, under 8.5. Next game, Yankees, Twins, 7:40 Eastern first pitch. Minnesota's minus 150, total 7.5. Sonny Gray for Minnesota, Johnny Brito for New York. Now, Brito's 2-1 on the year as this Yankee pitching staff is allowing a league-low 6.1 hits a game on the road. When it comes to offensive production, New York's also a top 10 run-producing team while traveling. Anthony Rizzo's hitting .316 with a handful of home runs. Meanwhile, Aaron Judge has a team-high 6 homers on the year. Now, they're facing a Minnesota team who's had a rough time with the bats. They're striking out over 10 times a game at home. And they're also in the bottom 10 in run production at home as well. Now, as a team, the Twins took the loss in 6 out of their last 8. When it comes to the injury report, Kyle Farmer's still in the IL for Minnesota. Donaldson, Stanton, and Bader still out for the Bombers. When it comes to the total, New York 68% to the under for the entire year. Meanwhile, Minnesota saw 7 out of their last 9 at Target Field stay under the line. Give me the Yankees plus 1.5, under 7.5 runs. Next ball game, it is going to be A's at the Angels, 9:38 Eastern start time. The LA Angels are minus $2, totals 9.5. Jose Suarez for LA, Ken Waldichuk for Oakland. Now Kenny's 0-2 with an ERA in the 6s. And even if Waldichuk throws well here today, the A's have the worst record in the majors for a reason. They simply can't score runs. They're facing an Angels club who's nearly in the top 5 in home scoring. This is a team who can really, outscore anybody. They can score with the best of them. Mike Trout, he has a handful of homers and an OPS in the thousands. Meanwhile, Hunter Renfroe, he has 6 homers and leads the club in ribbies. When it comes to the total in this one, LA saw overs recently against the likes of Kansas City, the Yankees, and the Red Sox. Meanwhile, Oakland's 9-1 the over in their last 10 while traveling. Give me the Angels minus 1.5, over 9.5 runs. Next game, Royals D-backs, 9:40 Eastern start time. Arizona's minus 135, totals 10. Tommy Henry for Arizona, Brad Keller for the Royals. Keller has a couple of losses on the year, and he has 13 walks already. The Royals also have the second worst record in the majors, and they rank dead last in hits per game. They're facing an Arizona team who hits it really well at Chase Field. As a matter of fact, the D-backs average a league-best 10.5 hits a game in their own park. Geraldo Perdomo's hitting 356 with an OPS in the thousands. Meanwhile, Josh Rojas is hitting nearly 300 with double-digit RBI. When it comes to the injury report, Carson Kelly and Kyle Lewis, they're still out for the D-backs. When it comes to the total, Arizona 64% to the over at Chase Field. Meanwhile, Kansas City went 7-3 the over in their last 10. Give me Arizona minus 135, over 10 runs. And with that, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the video. It's going to be between the Cardinals and the Giants, 9:45 Eastern start time. St. Louis is minus $1.25 on the road, totals 8 runs. Jordan Montgomery for St. Louis, Alex Cobb for San Francisco. Now, Cobb's got 22 strikeouts in just 19-plus innings, along with an ERA in the 2s. Now, the Giants are also fanning nearly double-digit batters a game. The Cards are one of the higher strikeout lineups on the road in the National League. And no real shock here, guys. They're nearly in the bottom 5 in run production as the away team. Now, injury-wise, Brandon Donovan is questionable for St. Louis. Hanninger, Slater, and Gonzalez are out for San Francisco. When it comes to the total, 5 out of the Giants' last 7 fell under the number. Meanwhile, St. Louis is 6-3 to the under in their last 9 on the road. Give me San Francisco plus 105, under 8. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Give me the Marlins plus 1.5, over 8. Milwaukee minus 155, under 8.5. Yankees plus 1.5, under 7.5 runs. Angels minus 1.5, over 9.5. Arizona minus 135, over 10. With my next and final free pick, give me San Francisco plus 105, under 8 runs.